So I get the bracket off, and I'm going to take this off, 22 millimeter. If you're going to be working on vehicles and expecting to do timing belts and this kind of thing, you do need to seriously consider air and a gun that can do the job. So get the 22 millimeter bolt out of here, and we can pull that off. It'll slide off with a little wiggling. We'll just wiggle it back and forth and pull it off. It does have two holes for a puller. You may have to use it if it's got a lot of miles on it and it was rusty, but you see this one came off. We can go ahead and just pull off timing cover bolts now if you choose to. There's one up here in the shadows, and then there's a couple more here. Take the bottom one off, then we'll go up top and work on the top one, and it's all just 10 millimeter bolts. So just go ahead and start taking those off. Got the lower cover off, and as long as I'm here, I'm going to take these two bolts out up here, 12 millimeter bolts and a nut. Actually, get those loose, we'll take that cover off as well. Don't forget to put this back on when you do the job. Sometime during this procedure you want to drain the coolant for doing the water pump. So here's a drain on the radiator on the driver's side rear. Simply lefty-loosey, righty-tighty. I have attached a hose onto it so I can direct the coolant to go into the container that I want to catch it in so it doesn't splatter all over the place on this bracket. So you can see I have my nice pink Toyota Coolant drain into a bucket. So we're just going to go ahead and go over here and start taking off the timing cover bolts, 10 millimeter bolts as we talked about. And you can just pull this little tab back and release them and pull up on it like that. Just work your way back there. It's the same for the ones in the back, and give you some space to work with this harness and cover. If you take the cap off up here, it will help with the coolant flow faster out of the radiator. Let that atmospheric pressure push down on the coolant and force it out. Alright, here's a little overview of the timing cover pieces. See how they fit together. Right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, just 5 bolts. Hold the top timing cover off and pulls off pretty easy. You may have to wiggle a little bit with the power steering hose that's back there, otherwise it comes out pretty nice. If the timing belt's not broken, it's a necessity to line things up before you take it off. Zoom in here if I can, and you can see there's a notch right there on the timing back cover, and then there's actually a notch in right there. It'll be for basically the same for the back side. I'll try and get a picture of that, although it's pretty tight back there. But I think I do see a notch on there as well on the pulley. What I'm gonna do is mark those with some whiteout. Maybe if you have some fingernail polish or something, it's nice just to highlight them, get a good look at them. So, and then we'll take this bolt out of here, and we can get this piece. We'll get this piece out of here next. We'll get that 12 millimeter bolt out. We can get that piece off. Get our timing belt off and get to the water pump. So we have a dimple right there on the teeth. We have a notch on the block. So we'll line those up. Again, we're going to be using some whiteout to really make things really stand out. Once we get those lined up, then we'll take the belt off. And we'll have to get 2 12 millimeter bolts off here, as I mentioned. We'll just need to move the power steering. Move the power steering back and forth. We should be able to do it enough with this here to get up there and get that other 12 millimeter bolt and take that out. Alrighty. So get your marks lined up. You may put the crank pulley back in here and line it up, or use, yeah. You always want to turn this clockwise. If you're turning anything, do not go counterclockwise. It's just better that way when you turn the engine over. Always go with the rotation that the engine goes normally. So I'm using a 1/4 inch setup, 12mm socket, small extension. Gives me the clearance I need to get in there and get on that bolt. Probably put a wrench on the end here so I can get more leverage and break this bolt loose. So for the power steering, I did end up taking this bolt out down here so I can get the power steering pump out of the way, because I could not get to that back bolt at this time. I've done it before, but this time it's not working. I think I stripped my teeth off my 1/4 inch ratchet, so I have straight, clean access to that bolt, and we'll break it off now.